Hey, what's up everyone? I wanted to show you my hero list that I took to the Legacy of Destruction regionals over in LEDE Utah. I finished 13th out of 130 people or so. So nothing too crazy, but I did get my invite to Nats, which was pretty special to me because I'd never done that before. You know, I've only been playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! For a little while now, and the fact that I got to do it with my all-time favorite deck was pretty cool. I wanted to make this profile mostly to the hero community, just to show everyone kind of what I've been playing for a while and what I think might be best moving forward. Before we begin, I guess shout out to all the Utah Yu-Gi-Oh! Homies, and shout out to my girlfriend Gabby because she's the GOAT. And this is probably my first video, so I apologize if the quality isn't that good, but we'll get better. So, like I said, I finished X2 after 7 rounds of Swiss, 13th place. I'm playing 45 in the main, but the engine is pretty standard, so I'll show you. I'm playing 3 Stratos, 1 Liquid, 1 Shadow Mist, 1 Neos. You know, nothing too crazy there. That's for the E heroes. For the Vision heroes, I'm playing 3 Ferris, 2 Vion, 2 Increase. Gotta play 2 Increase. You never want to draw this. It sucks when you do. I'm playing 45 and I still see it in my hand. And I'm sure you'll say, oh, it's because you played 2, but you know, I'd rather see this than not play at all. Next up, the D heroes, we got 3 Malicious, 1 Denier, 1 Plasma. This card at 3 really helps a lot. You know, I think we underestimated how impactful 3 Malicious really is. But yeah, this card carries. That's it for the engine monsters I'm playing. I think it's pretty standard overall. You know, 1 Plasma, no Dark Angel in the main. Next up for the spells, we got 3 A Hero Lives, 3 Fusion Destinies. Like, these are your best 1-card combos. 2 Mass Change. I'm playing 2 Poly and 1 Miracle. I decided to go for 2 Poly here instead of 1 because I upped my non-engine up to 13, and so I wanted to level out my non-engine to engine ratios, and this is honestly the first card I would boost up to 2. You know, 2 Mass Change is nice because you can search it, and it comes up in the grind game and everything, but you know, if you see this, you know, you make Dark Law, and that can solo certain matchups, but really, it's the Poly that gets you to start really playing, you know, getting into the favorite contact lines and everything. And then for the rest of the engine, I played, you know, Foolish, Rhoda, and then favorite contact. Just your consistency cards and your Tri-Brigade Revolt, which is super good. This is what I think maybe differs from a lot of other hero lists. I decided to play the hand traps, so I played, you know, 3 Ash, 3 Valor, and I mixed it up with the board breakers actually. So I played 3 Droplet, 1 Called By, and triple Imperm. I decided to go for hand traps in this build and play 9 along with the board breakers because I was afraid of getting hand looped by Omega, you know, with the pure Snake Eye deck, and getting like gimmick puppet locked by Branded or some other, you know, kind of like cheesy free win strategy. And so that was kind of my philosophy with that. Honestly, looking back, I think it was the right call because there was a couple games throughout the tournament where I got lucky and I opened 2 of these and a way to play. The only time these ever were a detriment was actually my one brick. So I only bricked the whole tournament one game, and it was, excuse me, I think round 6, game 2 against Pure Snake Eye. You know, we had a kind of a back and forth game 1. And then game 2, I drew, I think, Imperm, Veiler, Ferris, and Polly. And yeah, 3-hand trap slowed him down, but I couldn't crawl back after that. So that was the main deck. It's 45 cards, like I said. Nothing too crazy, but I think it varies a little bit from other lists that, you know, just play board breakers or, you know, whatever that may be. Onto the extra deck, you know, here's my tokens. I played 1 Divine Wind and 1 Dark Law. This was for the Tempai matchups. In theory, it can be really good because, you know, it limits your opponent to only 1 attack. But it really never came up, even against the Tempai matchups I did play against. And 1 Dark Law, you know, this card is so good. It solos so many things, or so many decks. But you really only need 1, or at least in this build, I feel like 1 is good enough because I want to fit in as many other cards. I wanted to fit in all the other extra deck cards for this list, and Dark Law is one of the ones that I think is cuttable from 1 to 2. I'm not saying that's the correct ratios for every hero list, but that's kind of what has worked for me. And the second Dark Law never came up this tournament. I've had tournaments where I definitely wanted a second, but, you know, it is what it is. We just wanted to test it out. Next up for the D heroes, I'm playing Dangerous, Dystopia, and DPE. You know, you gotta play DPE, and these come up enough. Actually, my first game, round 1, I got to burn my opponent in time with Dystopia, which was really clutch because I actually decided to add him in kind of last second, and I'm glad I did because I got to win round 1 because of that. Next up for the elemental heroes, we have Shining Neo's Wingman, Rage, Sunrise, and Wake Up. This is your standard package. The one that's missing is Absolute Zero, and it sucks. I love that card, and there are times where I feel like it comes up, but again, I wanted to fit in a couple other cards in the extra deck, and I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, this is your hero package, obviously super strong. These are your searchers. Wake Up can also be a searcher, but, you know, these guys can also OTK super easily. Super clutch. Next up for the Link monsters, we got 2 Cross Crusaders, 1 Infernal Divisor, 1 Dread Decimator, Wonder Driver, and this is the card I really wanted to fit in, which is SP Little Knight. So, you know, obviously you got to play these. And the cards here, I'll show you the cards I really wanted to fit in, so to say. It was Decimator, Little Knight, and I guess Dystopia. So with 3 Malicious, the idea behind this is that you can make these a lot easier. And a lot of the times, instead of ending on the Shining Neo's Wingman for the non-target pop, you use either Dread Decimator or leave Sunrise on board and make Dystopia to make another target or another pop along with your DP kind of whenever you want it. So that's kind of the idea behind that. And like I said, Dystopia definitely came up because I got to win in time because of it. But I will say Dread Decimator never came up because, you know, you make so many bodies. It's kind of easy to go for game with these monsters. And so I felt it was a little kind of overdoing it. Obviously, it helped with this line of play a lot more. And so for that, I think it was worth playing. But I can definitely see, you know, playing something like Absolute Zero or the Second Dark Law instead of these guys. Now with SP Little Knight, the idea is that whenever you get drolled or shifted, you know, people have experimented with like Baguska or Dweller in the past, but that's only really come up when you activate a Hero Lives and Special Stratos, right? And so SP Little Knight would be the most generic because you'd be able to make it whenever. And there was actually a time when it came up. So I think it was round 5 against Tempai. I misplayed very badly because we were in a weird kind of simplified game state where if I had made SP Little Knight, I would have won the game. But I forgot about this card in my extra deck because, you know, you hardly make it. I definitely don't think it's a necessity. You know, if for whatever reason, like money or anything, SP Little Knight wasn't on the table for you, I think, you know, Baguska or Dweller could work fine. They do the job, but SP Little Knight, in theory, comes up more than those cards. So, yeah, that was the main, or the extra deck, obviously, 15 cards. I honestly really liked the extra. Like I said, Dystopia came up. Divine Wind never came up, but, you know, it's kind of for safety. If it comes up, you know, it saves you. If not, you know, whatever. Moving on to the side deck. Honestly, the side deck is my least favorite part about this build for me. I don't think I experimented enough with it, and I feel like there are cards I would change. So let's get into it. I played through Nibiru just so I could bump up to 12 hand traps post side. I played Dark Angel on the side deck because this card definitely comes up against strategies like Branded or even Voiceless Voice or Flu. You know, this card is definitely worth playing. It can save you even post side against like evenly matched and stuff like that. Evenly like Lightning Storm and whatnot. Except I played 3 Deck Lockdown. This card's broken. It's a Floodgate, you know. What else can I say? 3 Cosmic. Just for back row hate. I was worried about Runic Stun coming into this, honestly. Never played it, so Cosmic didn't come up too much, but, you know, it's good to have back row removal. Double Talents and Thrusts. These cards actually never came up. I never drew them today, but they've usually been really good for me, especially in the hero lists like this. Whenever you go full board breaker, when you have the full board breaker approach, I think these cards are definitely worth playing. Especially because we're in a hand trap meta with Tempai and Snake Eye running so many hand traps. It's definitely worth it. And then I'm playing Rivalry and D-Barrier. Just barrier for the Thrust target, really. It's nice that Thrust also works with our engine cards like, you know, Fusion Destiny and A Hero Lives, but D-Barrier is good against Tempai, Voiceless, Branded. I think it was worth playing, and obviously the 1-0 Floodgate, whenever you draw this, it's just absolutely solos games for you. But yeah, like I said, I feel like Talents, Cosmic didn't come up enough for me this tournament. I feel like maybe down the line I'd play more generic board breakers, maybe like a Evenly or more hand traps for post side. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck list. I can talk about my opponents and kind of how I finished with that X2 record after 7 rounds. I'll have my pairings up on the screen, but I think I remember them off the top of my head. I played round 1 against Runic Fish variant. They were playing like the like fish package with the rank 3s, something like that. I won 2-1. Round 2, I played against Fluon Deriz. I also won 2-1. Round 3, I played against Snake Eye, the Kashtira version. Also won 2-1. Round 4, I played against Tempai Dragons. I won 2-0. And so I was undefeated after 4 rounds. Round 5 and 6, I dropped... rounds 5 and 6 I dropped to Tempai round 5. That was the game. 1-2 is where I lost, and that was the game where if I made SP Little Knight, I honestly should have won that game. Round 6 I played against Pure Snake Eye, and that was where I bricked game 2. And then round 7 actually was a bye, so I guess my opponent didn't have the best tiebreakers, or maybe you just wanted to go home or whatever, but yeah, they didn't show up, and so I got my 5th win for free, which was pretty nice. So really I finished like 4-2, but yeah, that was the list for me. Let me know what y'all think. Hopefully we can start a discussion, especially the hero players. I wanted to know what you guys think and what I should change, but yeah, that's gonna be all for today. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.